right now on 5 on your side at 10.
We start tonight in storm alert. Right now, we're awaiting our next round of storms. The first round earlier tonight dropped heavy rain, hail, and packed damaging winds across the bi-state. It even prompted a tornado warning as many cars packed the roads during the evening commute. The next round is moving through as you head to bed, so it's important to stay on high alert overnight. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. We have live team coverage tonight of the damage and helping you prepare for the threat of nocturnal storms. First, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell, who has been here all day and night tracking the severe weather. Scott.
Well, unfortunately, the severe weather itself hasn't been all that widespread. We've had pockets where we've had problems, but so far, the storms have maintained intensity and kept it below being extremely severe. Having said that, it is still pouring this evening around the St. Louis area, especially on the north side of the metro area, going along 270 and then out 70 into St. Charles. And there are bands where there's still some gusty 30 to 50 mile per hour winds, perhaps, as we look to the north and northwest of St. Louis, kind of getting into more of this amalgamation of storms spreading across the area versus individual cells that we were dealing with earlier this evening. Strongest storm we're thinking right now is the one that's in Gasconade County, moving through Owensville and heading towards Rosebud right now. Still have some good cloud to ground lightning, though, up here across parts of Lincoln County, northern portions of Warren County, and also over portions of Greene, Jersey, and into Calhoun counties. Areas northeast of St. Louis have seen some heavy rainfall already and more to come. Those areas northeast of town more prone to seeing some problems with the potential of flooding. This is the strongest storm on the radar screen right now, the one that really has the better chance of really strengthening a little bit over the course of the next hour or so. Still below severe limits, but already that torrential rain and maybe some hail pushing in towards Gerald, back to Rosebud and into Owensville. The severe threat will end after midnight. It'll end a little before that, farther northwest of St. Louis, but it'll probably be after midnight for the metro area, and then areas southeast of St. Louis, more like 1:30 to 2 o'clock. Now, damaging wind gusts, isolated tornadoes, that seems to be what we'll be dealing with as the main threat, along with some large hail, in some cases up to baseball size. That's been lowered a little bit, the size of that hail. Your tornado watch no longer in effect for Pike County, Missouri, but for much of the rest of the area, still in effect through midnight. We've got to get through this next round of storms and a few more that are in far southwest Missouri before we're done with this system. We'll keep tracking it this evening, but so far, at the moment, it's just heavy rain, some lightning, and some gusty winds that aren't severe.
Oh my God. Hey, flush it out.
Well, cars on 141 near Creve Coeur Park were pelted by hail during the evening commute. A viewer sent us this video showing some drivers trying to take cover under an underpass.
And not too far from there, hail covered Ryan Jacobs' back deck in Maryland Heights. Remember, we love when you can share your storm photos and videos. Just stay safe when you do. Just text them to 314-425-5355. Weather First meteorologist Tracy Hinson has been out in the storms all evening looking for damage.
Yeah, she joins us now. She is in our storm tracker. Where are you, Tracy?
Well, I'm in a popular spot for anybody who's tracking a storm around here in St. Louis. I'm at the J.J. Kelly overpass. We've been watching quite a bit of lightning. It's pretty much all around us at this point. It's off to our north and off to our west, and even a little bit down to the south of us, coming in from the southwest. So we've just been tracking that from time to time. Of course, we had a beautiful lightning strike just seconds before you tossed to me, so hopefully maybe another one will pop up here. We were also caught in that hail earlier. We just had some pea-sized hail up toward Weldon Spring. Right now, all we've really seen is rain. We did check in on that one area in Chesterfield along Strecker Road that was trees down. It was just one tree and one power line out there. So far, we haven't come across anything too much, but I know Annie Crawl has something different out there, so I'm sure we can get to her in a little bit here. In the Storm Tracker, I'm Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
Bob Haynes shared this video of flooding in his St. Charles County neighborhood. He says this is an ongoing issue. It happens every time it storms for him and his neighbors.
And here is a photo from street flooding and Maryland Heights. It shows water covering Bennington Place near Pattonville High School, and it's covering the tires of that car. West County appears to be one of the hardest hit areas.
In Chesterfield, high winds toppled trees and damaged homes. Our Annie Krall is live in the neighborhood off Conway Road, where homeowners are cleaning up tonight. Annie.
Well, that's just it. I am out here in Chesterfield, and they had some very strong winds and heavy rains as well. This is some of the worst damage we've seen tonight. Just over my shoulder, you can see here, it is a tree. It's not even a whole tree. That's just a branch. The sap is just so potent. You can smell it because of how bad the winds have been. But it wasn't just trees. There was also some roof damage as well. I was able to speak with a homeowner and his wife, which was really heartbreaking because they had the roof of their home literally ripped off because of how high these winds were. They took us into the entire home and they showed us their roof that was in their backyard because it was in a tree. Now it was the Noni and Gramlich home, and it was the husband is Ron. They've lived here for 35 years, and they walked me through all of this just to show me the storm's impact. They say it all started just before 6:30 this evening.
Then we were waiting for Wheel of Fortune to come on, and it was just a little bit late because of the weather report. And then we heard the hail, and I come to the front bedroom to look out, and then I walked back towards the back of the house, and the wind was kicking out, and we didn't know the tornado. We step outside and trying to get one of the dogs in, and just everything was all over. I mean,
that roof damage is severe. I'm actually holding a piece of roof from one of the homes across the street from the Gramlichs, and that's what they're mostly worried about, is with this much rain coming down, the amount of rain damage and water damage is going to come into their homes because they weren't able to put a tarp over the roof, and what that might look like in the morning. For now, though, reporting live in Chesterfield, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
See that damage. And as we head into the overnight hours, there is the potential for more severe storms as you sleep.
Yeah, and these nocturnal storms can be the most deadly. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live at the St. Clair County Emergency Management Headquarters with some safety advice from the experts. Laura?
Mike and Kelly, we are here in the St. Clair County Emergency Operations Center, which, as you can see right now, is all quiet, but could be a lot more active if things start to spin up here in St. Clair County. Now, let's get into it for y'all at home. The main advice is to have some way to get those notifications that will wake you up, whether that's on your phone, having those emergency notifications turned on and on loud, or even a weather radio.
The most dangerous time for tornadoes to hit is at night, especially between midnight and 6 a.m. Storms at that time are 2.5 times more likely to be deadly.
We're plunged into darkness. We don't have that line of sight or that visual that we normally would during the daytime.
St. Clair County Emergency Management Director Herb Simmons says not only can you not see the tornadoes, people can also sleep through the warnings.
Have your phone at the side of the bed with your alert on it. You know, that's the best way. Everybody says, well, you know, we want to hear the warning sirens go off. Well, you know, those outdoor warning sirens are meant for outdoors when you're outside.
Another option is a weather radio. You can find them at CVS, Walmart, Target, Amazon, and even hardware stores. The
weather alert radio is our best defense. Because it will wake you up without a doubt, and it's going to give you the message of, you know, to seek cover.
Something else to have by your bed: shoes and a bag with anything you might need if your house gets hit, like water, medication, and non-perishable food or snacks.
You got to think about, if you are hit by a tornado, what's laying around? Glass, nails, woods, all kinds of things that could impale your feet.
National Weather Service meteorologist Jared Maples says sometimes it's better to just stay up until the threat is past to keep your family safe.
But if you do go to bed, you know what you're going to do when you wake up. If you do have a warning, where you're going to go immediately, because, you know, we all wake up in the morning, we have that little groggy sense of, you know, what am I doing?
Now, just one more way you can receive alerts. Your county or city likely has their own emergency messaging system to let you know about these weather alerts and any other incidents that might be going on. Here in St. Clair County, it's called Code Red. You can do that online on their website. It'll take less than 5 minutes, and you can do that right now so you can be warned just one more way. Reporting live in Belleville, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Many in St. Charles County learned how destructive severe weather can be with last month's hailstorm. AAA of Missouri says there are things you can do to protect your property. That includes bringing in lawn furniture, tying up loose items, and trimming tree limbs that hang over your house or cars. If you don't have a garage or carport, try parking as close as possible to your house. It's also a good time to take a second look at your insurance policies.
Now is the time, especially with the spring storms that we're experiencing. Talk with your auto insurance company, talk with your agent, and make sure that you have the proper coverage for both your home and your auto.
For car insurance, comprehensive coverage covers hail damage. For homeowner policies, pay close attention to add-ons like roof and flood insurance. If you do have to file a claim, it's suggested you do it as soon as possible.
Carjacking thwarted thanks to an 82-year-old great-grandma's daring escape.
Get away. You got to just get in his car and floor it before he pulls the trigger.
Tonight, she's sharing only with 5 on Your Side her frightening encounter with 2 teens armed with a gun.
Well, we still remain in storm alert tonight. Your Weather First team tracking tonight's storms across the area. For the most part, they're staying fairly settled, but there's some torrential rain right now, and there may be some gusty winds along the Jersey-Greene County line. They're in Illinois with another storm back into Gasconade County, moving into Franklin County and the whole metro area. Pretty soggy. Back in just a few minutes as this tornado watch continues through the evening. And on Weather First, storm alert continues tonight. Our tornado watch set to run through midnight around St. Louis. And while there's no imminent severe weather that we see at the moment, we still have some strong thunderstorms across the area, a lot of torrential rain. And we're also still looking at the potential for some gusty winds out of some of those storms. One of those storms is working along the Greene and Jersey County line north of Jerseyville right now. Looks like it might have a little bit of spin trying to work in there. If it did, it would be very quick hitting, but you're getting a lot of rainfall. More rain is back to the west and southwest. All of the metro staying pretty soggy right now. Again, the severe weather threat, it's still there, but at the moment, these storms are below severe limits. We'll see in a few minutes. We'll track it out through the remainder of the night.
All right, Scott. New tonight, an 82-year-old St. Louis woman is telling us how 2 teens tried to carjack her at gunpoint over the weekend.
The suspects are just 12 and 16 years old. The victim talked only tonight to 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend.
Mike and Kelly, the grateful great-grandma is so glad she survived the frightening encounter. She tells me she does not want us to show her face, her home, or disclose her name. It was supposed to be a routine ride from the grocery store to her home in South St. Louis.
It was a beautiful day, and I was just coming down Loughborough Avenue.
But just before 3 Saturday afternoon, this great-grandma's trip took an unexpected and dangerous turn.
And I saw these 2 kids, and they're both with black jackets, black pants. One guy's got a hoodie up, and I thought, these kids are not up to anything good, I don't think.
The 82-year-old was right. Her neighbor's security camera caught the teens on video when they walked down an alley and approached her car.
And they said, excuse me, but would you give us a ride? And I looked at them, I says, what? And they says, our mother just had a heart attack, and we want to get to the hospital.
But the alert grandma knew they wanted something else. The older boy then suddenly...
He stuck a gun in the window, and he says, get out, give me your car. And with that, I stepped on the gas. I just thought, I got to get away.
The retired business owner sped off, kept honking her horn, trying to alert her neighbors, and called police. She said it happened so fast, she had no time to be afraid.
I was married to a policeman. Maybe he taught me something that I didn't realize. Yes, common sense told me, get the hell out of there when you see a gun.
Turns out it was a BB gun. Grandma wasn't hurt.
Well, I thank God that day.
Police say the 12 and 16-year-old runaways from Indiana ran off after the attempted carjacking. Officers later caught them near Menard and Russell in Soulard. This spunky survivor prayed for them during Easter service.
We'll continue to pray for them and hope that, they get their act straightened out.
A spokesperson for St. Louis Circuit Court says the 12-year-old boy was released to his parents. The 16-year-old was still in juvenile custody as of this afternoon.
Thanks. The 15-year-old Hazelwood East student accused of severely beating a classmate was in court today for the first time. The judge set a hearing for May 10th to decide whether Maurice DeClue should be tried as an adult. Viral video of the March 8th fight shows the fight where 16-year-old Kaylee Gaines' head was slammed into the pavement. Today, the judge granted a request from juvenile officers for more time to finish their investigation report.
She's had no history with the juvenile court, none. She has been the victim of bullying, but there are other facts that we're going to save for court.
Today, the parents of Kaylee Gaines released a new statement saying she continues to show improvement but still suffers both physical and cognitive impairments. They continue to ask for Maurice DeClue to be charged as an adult, despite her showing remorse for the attack and a now debunked social media post claiming otherwise.
Tonight, Baldwin police are investigating a shooting. A homeowner tells investigators he shot a man he found sleeping in his truck. It happened this morning on Wild Forest Drive. The homeowner says he shot the man in self-defense after he tried to attack him. He was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition.
In less than 8 hours from now, the polls will open in Missouri for municipal elections. There are several hot local races and ballot proposals to be decided. The polls will open from 6 a.m. and they'll stay open till 7 p.m. Remember, Missouri law now requires you to show a government-issued photo ID to cast your ballot. We put together a comprehensive voter guide detailing what will be on your ballot. You can find it at ksdk.com/guide, or you can text the word guide to 314-425-5355, and we'll send it straight to your phone.
We remain in a storm alert. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here once again with the weather first forecast. Not out of the woods yet, Scott, right?
Not yet. And I think, we really need to still be paying attention through about 11:30 midnight from St. Louis and points northwest. And really, you get up towards Pike County, you get north of Troy, your severe weather threat's certainly decreasing there. But as we go to the east and to the southeast of St. Louis, we still have a lingering severe weather threat. You can see the thunderstorms lining up here. There's a lot of red on the screen. There's a lot of yellow and orange too. The yellow and orange indicating a good, steady, almost tropical rain in a lot of spots, and embedded within that some thunder, maybe some smaller hail, some pea-sized hail, certainly possible with these storms along Highway 67 as you go into far southern portions of Greene County in Illinois. This is some tremendous rainfall happening along 70 and then back down 4064 into St. Louis and around 270 on the north side of town, even around the airport, a drenching rain right now. And we're starting to focus our attention on these storms here down to our southwest, north of Rolla, coming up towards Union. The air south of St. Louis has been more humid. It has been less disturbed, if you will, by the thunderstorms that we've seen around the metro area. And now that we're starting to see that energy swinging in from the west, that enhances the ability for these thunderstorms to, at the very least, maintain their intensity, and they're pretty strong, but also potentially strengthen and become severe storms. Now, if you need weather information, you can always scan that QR code on the screen, and we'll get you more weather information. But let's kind of take a look at this area down to the south. This is an area as we go to the south and southeast of St. Louis, which hasn't seen a whole lot going on, and this is a smattering of showers. Maybe it's going to ease things as these stronger storms try to work in, but on the road from Gerald over towards Union right now, as you approach 185, you're picking up some of that heavier rain and at least some pea-sized hail, and there may be some rotation trying to develop with that storm system. And the conditions are certainly there for some of these storms to rotate this evening, and potentially an isolated tornado not out of the question. Through midnight, including the metro area, we have the tornado watch in effect. Still watching these storms in southwest Missouri. They're pretty intense here from Joplin up to the west and north of Springfield. We still have to get through that before the night is done. There's also a flood watch in effect northeast of St. Louis. Areas northeast of St. Louis haven't been in as bad of a drought, and we've already seen wherever the yellow exists around an inch of rain. That includes places like Chesterfield, up towards Smart Field, and more than an inch of rain, closer to 2 inches of rain as you head farther to the west. There are flight delays coming out of Lambert tonight. Many flights are being delayed in and out, not only because of the weather here, but elsewhere. This is a pretty expansive storm system, and we have a few more hours to get through it, and then things will start to ease just a little bit. It's 69 degrees right now. 81 was our high today in St. Louis, 63 the low. We're over a half an inch of rain now in St. Louis. Tonight, strong storms. They're going to continue for a while longer, and then we will look at the potential towards 2 or 3 o'clock that most of it will ease on out and slide away. And your next 10 days shaping up to be a little calmer here as we head towards the home opener on Thursday. We are expecting to see temperatures on the cool side in the 50s, but no rain on Thursday. Kind of a partly, perhaps mostly cloudy sky, but it'll be better than tonight.
Calmer is good.
And it'll be better than the weather in LA. Yeah.
Scott, thanks. Well, sports is next. It was a rematch of the 2023 championship. Iowa and LSU, they meet up in Albany. Did Caitlin Clark get her revenge?
And your weather first storm alert continues on this Monday night. It's not April Fool's. Unfortunately, this is a new severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin County. It was that storm we were just talking about a few minutes ago that's been working its way out of Gasconade County, now sliding and approaching Union right along 185 and US 50. And as it moves on to the east, indications are we're seeing up to quarter-size hail and perhaps 50 to 60 miles per hour on your wind gusts. That's going to take it up towards St. Clair, up towards Pacific along 44. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and there's also some rotation with this system, so we can't rule out a tornado developing with it. But at the moment, that circulation is not tight, and therefore it's just gusty winds and some hail that we're concerned about, along with the heavy rain. Mike will be back with an update in a few minutes.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
And in for Frank Cusimano tonight. Saturday night, the Blues played maybe their worst game of the season, getting shut out by the worst team in the league, San Jose. There would be punishment for that. They were pushed hard in their pregame skate this morning. Then they had to play a game against Connor McDavid and explosive Edmonton. The Oilers on that high-powered offense got on the board early. Matthias Ekholm, the long shot that get past Jordan Binnington for a 1-0 lead. Edmonton had another goal disallowed, and then the Blues answered on the power play. It's the captain, far side, Braden Shen, shot and a goal. Shen scored again in the third, and right now the Blues 5 points out of a playoff spot, and they lead it in the third period by the score of 2-1. For the first time since he was fired as manager of the Cardinals, Mike Shildt had a chance for a little revenge. The Cardinals were in San Diego tonight facing the Padres for the first time since Shildt took over as their manager. And the Cardinals came out swinging. Nolan Arenado rips it into the left field corner. It's down. Brendan Donovan comes around to score, and they give Kyle Gibson the lead. Now we're still in the first inning. This is Wilson Contreras, and there it goes. 2 more runs. That made it 3-0 after 1, and the hits kept coming in the second. Paul Goldschmidt, the batter, liner to left. It's down. Donovan will score again. Donovan homered in the 6th, and right now the Cardinals lead Mike Shildt by the score of 6-1. As we continue on the reckoning tour tonight, tonight was the night for Iowa's Caitlin Clark to avenge her team's loss to LSU in last year's championship game. And just like last year, there was plenty of fire and trash talking. In Albany, LSU coach Kim Mulkey's glare magnified the game's intensity. Iowa started fast. That's Edwardsville Kate Martin with the lay-in from Caitlin Clark. Martin scored 21. But LSU fought back. Angel Reese with the big block on Clark. She would sprain an ankle, but came back to finish with 17 points, 20 rebounds. It was tied at the half. Third quarter, Clark just took over. She dropped threes from all over, a record 9 in the game. Iowa took a commanding lead as Clark finished with 41. Iowa's headed to Cleveland for the Final Four. Clark gets revenge. They win it 94-87. DJ Burns is making a name for himself on the men's side. The center for surprising NC State is listed at an alleged 275 pounds, and he wore out the Duke big men yesterday to the tune of a career-high 29 points. He's even got NFL scouts looking at him now. Not bad for a guy who really wasn't sure where he was headed before Wolfpack coach Kevin Cates recruited him out of the portal.
I was up at Winthrop and, didn't really know how this was going to play out when I put my name in that portal. And honestly, I didn't even at first think I was coming here. So for this, it's just an absolute blessing. And I think that man needs a lot more respect.
He is a fun guy to watch as an NC State alum. Speaking of NC State alum, this morning, courtesy of one as well from the Weather Service, that is in Franklin County, severe thunderstorm, maybe looking at some hail along with some gusty winds and potentially some rotation. We'll catch you caught up on it in just a few minutes. And our storm alert does continue tonight. We are looking at some pretty intense thunderstorms in and around the St. Louis area, but the strongest ones are down 44 right now. And we do have new severe thunderstorm warnings. This one for Franklin County. That storm's coming into Union. It's headed towards Pacific and Catawissa. You have another severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern portions of Franklin County back into southern portions of Gasconade County. All of these storms moving to the northeast. Tornado watch remains in effect through midnight to include the St. Louis area. It's going to stay active here as we head through the next hour or so, hour or two. We'll be with you on 5+ and KSDK.com.
And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m.